Hi there, welcome to Cocktail Mode, the podcast where me, Andy, and my good mate Dave pick a retro game and at some point towards the end we'll try and pair it with a cocktail. Today's game is NBA 2K, the start of the 2K franchise way back on the Dreamcast from 1999.
Have you, as a person, grown emotionally enough over the last 2 years since the last basketball episode that we did to not moan about basketball for the next 3 fucking hours?
Yes.
Good. Because I've listened back to the NBA Jam episode and it's just you shitting on basketball for an hour. And all American sports. Despite the fact that you love this American sport game made by an American company.
Oh, what a prick.
I think the early days you're a little bit more opinionated than you are now.
I think what will help with that is that unlike NBA Jam, NBA 2K it's a 5-on-5 basketball game with proper basketball rules. And I enjoy it. So I can't really moan about it, can I?
It's an anomaly in itself, isn't it? You shouldn't like this game.
No.
This should be the complete antithesis of what you want out of an NBA game. You said it yourself in the NBA Jam episode. You want a 2-on-2 arcade power-up game. You don't want a sim. You don't want a real-life version of the game. And yet, this is one of your favourite Dreamcast games of all time, as far as I can remember.
Yeah. It really is. I think it's a funny thing with sport. I like a realistic game of football to an extent. I like a realistic game of tennis to an extent. Most other sports, I want an arcade version. I want a simplified version. I want a pick up and play version. Particularly American sports, where in the actual sport when you're watching it, the speed of play is much slower than it is with European sports. That's broad, but you know what I'm trying to say. Soccer is a constant movement sport. Tennis is almost a constant movement sport. Basketball and American football feel like they're not. It just feels like a lot of time spent not giving it full beans. And you're right. You're absolutely right. I shouldn't like this game. It's got the exact amount of depth that I like in a video game.
Just enough.
But this happened with another game we talked about recently again, where there's just enough. It's just the right amount, and that's why it's so much fun to play. Plus, it's a Dreamcast game. It gets an extra, it gets a bit of a pass on anything that might be wrong with it. If there was anything wrong with it, which as far as I can tell, there isn't.
I think the thing is there hadn't been a basketball game since NBA Jam that I'd even played, let alone played to any degree. No. So when this came out, it's like, oh, shit, this is really good. Do you remember the first time you played it?
I don't actually. I'm assuming, as with most Dreamcast games, it was on a demo on a cover of a magazine. Wasn't it?
I bought it and brought it round to your old flat, and you didn't want me to leave with it. You were like, I'll give you 20 quid. But fuck off, it cost me 40 quid. Like, I'll give you 30 quid. No, fuck off, it cost me 40 quid. Like, but I want it. Buy your fucking own copy.
Oh, mate, your level of recall is quite embarrassing for me more often than
sometimes. It's very few occasions where it's not to my gain.
I thought it was so difficult when I first played it. I was like, I must have used to play it on arcade mode. There's no out of bounds. It's so fucking weird.
No rules.
The ball went out of play like behind the net, and I just stopped. And the game just carried on. I was like, I definitely didn't used to play like this. It's not. I think I might have used to turn injuries off, though, because injuries happen a lot.
I love the fact that injuries are in it, because I was playing the Heat, and Timmy, as the announcer calls him, Hardaway, otherwise known as Penny Hardaway, got injured really early in the game. I was like, oh, yes, that's their best player gone. Came up with like the on-screen text thing was like leg injury sustained, out for 2 days because it was part of the season.
Yeah.
And the announcer goes, well, maybe we'll see him back.
Yes, I had
No,
that.
I don't think you will. Career-ending injury. Well, maybe he'll come back.
Maybe you'll hobble back for the fourth quarter.
The optimism of the announcers.
On a technical level, the announcers are pretty good. They don't repeat themselves massively.
The commentary is amazing.
Yeah.
I would say, actually, one of the things I'd forgotten about, because I can quite keenly remember the commentary being very, very good, because it's constant. It never stops.
Yeah.
It runs all through the game, and it always seems to be keeping up and doing a really, really good job of calling the game and talking about other little bits and bobs at the time. But I'd forgotten the crowd noise.
Yeah.
It feels really like not oppressive, but immersive. Like it's a proper arena crowd sound. And it's fantastic. As soon as I started playing it, it's the first thing that caught my attention. Shit, it sounds amazing.
What was the other game? We talked about this in another game. Was it? Well, I think it might have been one of the football games. It makes so much difference to a game, a football game or a sports game.
Yeah.
And I think even the crowd, even when you're looking head on at the crowd, they actually look quite good in the background as well. When you get a little side on angle and you can see their cardboard cutouts, not so good. But head on.
You know what it is? It's a foreshadowing of the 2020 NBA season where they played in Disneyland to empty stadiums but had cardboard cutouts of people in the crowd.
Oh, that's all it was. They were just 20 years early.
Yeah, it was COVID mode.
You're right. The whole game, the sound is brilliant. I think basketball games before this perfected the trainer squeak on hardwood floor, but it's still lovely to hear in a basketball game, and it's a great effect and used in a really nice way in this game. It's just really cool when you accelerate and it goes. It's quite smart. When you try and spin off when you're posting up and it gives a nice squeak. It's lovely.
Get you with your terminology. Have you read a book?
Because I own it, I've actually read the manual.
Said no one ever.
Well, I did, because when I started playing it, I was so bad. I had to read the manual. And then my muscle memory started coming back, and I just draining alley-oops like they're going out of fashion.
I still don't use them that often. I don't trust them. No, I don't think I ever really found the formula quite the way you did.
I reckon probably 80 to 90% of the formula is Latrell Sprewell. The man is a machine.
Yes.
Absolutely unstoppable. Sprewell's in the paint, he will alley-oop.
Yeah.
The others, they need to be running for the basket with their arm waving in the air. They do the Arsenal offside trap. But yeah, he's an absolute machine. But basically, how I do it is I find a tactic that makes the shooting guard... Is it shooting guard, SG? Is that what it stands for?
Yes. Yeah, shooting guard.
Makes the shooting guard drive for the net. So I just find that, and then basically the combo is set off that set play and then chuck in an alley-oop. And you've got to be a bit careful, but...
Well, you'll miss, 70% of the time?
Not when you've got Sprewell, you don't, mate. You score 75% of...
Yeah, but I don't, because I don't ever play as the Knicks.
Who do you play as?
This is one of the things we covered quite extensively in the NBA Jam episode, which will be referenced a lot tonight.
I meant to listen back to it, but I didn't.
Did you? Today.
Oh, well done.
My research for this was listening to our NBA Jam episode from 2 years ago.
Was that 2 years ago?
It was exactly 2 years ago.
Blimey.
We had our NBA Jam episode in which I stated several times I'm a big Chicago Bulls fan. So I play as the Chicago Bulls in NBA 2K, which is like playing as West Ham in any football game ever. It's the worst the Bulls ever were, pretty much. I mean, they've still got a couple of the good players from the Jordan era, but it's not patch on what they could have been like 2-3 years before.
No.
96, 97 was the peak of the Bulls.
Yeah, and I guess the team this would have been based on would have been mostly 98.
It's 99, the rosters.
Oh, of course, yeah, because it came out November 99 in the US,
Yeah.
didn't it?
Yep.
Well, so really early in the Dreamcast life cycle as well.
Yes. Yeah.
Borderline launch game. And I mean, like most Dreamcast launch games, like looking into the future when you've come from the PlayStation. What on earth is how is this even possible?
The thing is, it still looks good.
I mean, it does.
26 years later, I mean, we play a lot of retro games. We play a lot of old games. So to go from something like, I don't know, Metal Slug to NBA 2K, it's a huge leap.
Yes.
And anything 3D from just a couple of years before would have looked like utter shit.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't have had anything different to compare it to, so it would have been amazing. Tomb Raider 2 would have been just a year or two before this.
Yeah.
And we would have thought it was the best game, well, not the best game ever made, because Tomb Raider 2 wasn't that good. But you get the gist. Something not very long before this came out would have looked amazing, and then this came out and it looked incredible.
Yeah, basically 2K now is almost, if not the only basketball game that comes out officially licensed basketball. So you're basically down to one.
Yeah.
And I think in 1999 there were 6.
Yeah, there was a few doing the rounds.
Yeah, and so there was still this sort of competition. So all the other games were on N64, PlayStation 1. And as much as they look good for those machines, honestly, it's like staring through time when you look at NBA 2K.
You talk about generational leaps and there not being much of a change.
Yeah.
From the last, literally the one previous NBA game that came out to NBA 2K was like the difference between the PS1 and the PS3.
Yeah.
It was that big a jump.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
And yeah, I mean, even we've been playing a lot on emulators. And if you're watching us on your YouTube, you're watching emulated footage just because it's easiest to capture. I was playing on my actual Dreamcast with my actual Dreamcast controller on my actual 14-inch Sony Triniton TV. And it looks fucking amazing. Yeah, I mean, the graphics are slightly upscaled on the emulator because they have to be. Otherwise, it would be on a tiny little postage stamp size screen in the middle of your nice massive LCD monitor. LCD. Fucking hell. That's even retro now. But yeah, but on the original hardware, it looks incredible. It really does. It looks, the speed of it never stutters for a second. Just beautiful. Everything about it. Love it. And I think that's, to a large extent, that's sort of, I mean, it was a year later nearly it came out in the UK.
Yeah, we didn't get it for a while, did we?
No, we didn't. And we didn't get 2K1 at all.
No, or 2K2.
No, we didn't get 2K2, that's right.
Because the machine was dead by then.
2K1 seems a little harder to find than 2K2 for some reason.
I think I've still physically got 2K2. I
have 2 copies for some reason.
Do you? Oh, maybe you've got mine.
No, I've got an actual proper American copy, which I remember buying and importing myself, and a promo copy. So
okay.
All the Dreamcast promo copies are just a white disc.
Right.
So if you would like to win a Dreamcast copy of NBA 2K2, a promo copy, white disc promo copy, no box, no disc, just a sleeve, leave us a comment somewhere and I will send it to you. I will genuinely post it to you no matter where you live in the world. I'll send it to you.
That could be expensive.
It's a CD, mate. It's never going to get that expensive.
I don't know. How much do you think it costs to send something to Iran these days? It will not only be expensive, it will not get there for months.
So yeah, there were 11 basketball games released in 1999.
Wow.
And 3 of them came out after NBA 2K. By like 3 weeks.
Yeah. You'd be pissed, wouldn't you? If you'd been working on something on the N64 and you're building up to launch day, like, this is going to be great. We've got the latest, best version of the game that we could possibly make. What's that Dreamcast thing that's just come out? Oh, fuck.
In 1999, Acclaim was still trying to trot out NBA Jam versions. NBA Jam 2000 came out on the N64.
Yep.
There was NBA Shootout 2000. There was NBA Live 2000, NBA Courtside 2 featuring Kobe Bryant, NBA Basketball 2000, NBA Inside Drive 2000, NBA Showtime, NBA on NBC, NBA In the Zone 99. I had a look at those games and yeah, it really is just like, it's such a leap. Such a step forward even in relative games, because yes, you know, when was Metal Gear Solid come out? Because that was like 98, wasn't it?
98.
Yeah, and that was considered a great looking game. It's just, can you imagine?
Resident Evil 2 came out 98.
Yes.
1 year before this game. Just look at the 3D models and the pre-rendered backgrounds of that game. This is a world apart.
Incredible times. God bless the Dreamcast and everything it tried to do to save us. It died for our sins. It really did. But yes, point being, as they've said, it not only looked great and played great and sounded great in November 1999, but it still does 26 years later.
I was watching a video that actually was released to YouTube only like a week ago of a guy playing NBA 2K. And he's sitting there playing it. It's like, this game is 26 years old. How the fuck is this game this old and this good?
Yeah.
Great. Absolutely great. But that's, a lot of people would have that reaction. They'd pick it up, they'd look at it and go, oh yeah, it's NBA 2K.
Yes.
Because it's obviously old compared to the modern graphics, which are basically real people running around.
Yeah.
But the gameplay is still there. The same buttons are still there. Like, this earliest possible version of this series set out the blueprint for the rest of time. I don't think they'll ever change. I don't think they need to.
And you think this, the monopoly they've got over NBA games now compared to that 10 other NBA games around. Yeah. And it all happened because of, I mean, what's the word? That word that everyone gets wrong. Ironically, genuinely, the proper use of the word ironically, NBA 2K and the 2K series of games, which is enormous, only exists because EA Sports wouldn't publish on the Dreamcast, which is probably the thing that killed the Dreamcast. And so, yeah, if you're a fan of the 2K series and everything that's happened, it exists because they wanted to make a sports umbrella, the 2K umbrella. And
well, no, they didn't want to. They were forced to.
Yes, they had to. And so 2K is what happened. So NBA 2K was the very first. And by God, I mean, imagine that. Okay, we've done this. We had a go. What do you reckon?
Well, you say that the original developers, a company called Visual Concepts, had a bit of history. So they did NHL 97 on the Saturn, and they did the Saturn version of an NBA game called NBA Action 98. And then they had a year off, and they made a game called One, which I think you've heard of.
We've talked about before, yeah.
Yeah. And then the next thing they do is NBA 2K a year later, and NFL 2K and NHL 2K. They could potentially have been the thing that saved the Dreamcast. Or at least made it live a bit longer.
Yeah, they tried. God bless them.
They did a good job. They did a good job.
But they're an interesting company when you look at their history. They look like a bit of a company for hire, and that's what they were when Sega picked them to do this game. Yeah. They were just another company for hire. They've done all sorts of sort of tie-in, Star Trek films, Cool Spot games. You know, they did
a lot of ports.
Yeah.
They did, what was the one that really caught my eye earlier? Oh, they did Desert Strike on the SNES.
Yeah. What episode did we mention One in?
Metal Gear Solid.
I thought it might be Metal Gear Solid.
Because it's the whole cinematic thing.
Yeah. If you didn't listen to Metal Gear Solid, One, like the number one but spelled out O-N-E.
So the word One.
The word One is this fantastic action game for the PlayStation. It is genuinely amazing, and it is one of the few still to this day mostly hidden gems. And it's not massively expensive because it is a genuine hidden gem, not an overhyped hidden gem. It's a great little game, and it's like there wasn't many games sort of when you think they started with Madden 96 was when they really started. Now, they'd done a few sports games here and there, hadn't they?
Yeah, on and off.
But then in 96 they did NHL 97, and then a couple of NBA games. Then they did One. And then it was just NBA and NFL games for a little while. And then they did Floygan Brothers. And then a bunch of basketball games and hockey games. And then Ooga Booga.
What the fuck is Ooga Booga?
Ooga Booga is a Dreamcast game that I've never heard of. And apparently is quite good but extremely short. So, you know, might end up in my collection one of these days.
You never heard of it because it only came out in America. And it was online only.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Looks like a party game.
And then in 2002, they did Toe Jam and Earl 3, which was, I think, the last game they did that wasn't a sports game.
Yeah.
At that point, they just basically, no, tell a lie, 2007, Fantastic Four, Rise of the Silver Surfer.
They were getting bored. They'd done nothing but sports games for 5 years. They were bored out of their minds.
Oh, God, go on then.
Please, let's do something else.
And then it's just NBA NFL 2K, WWE 2K, everything.
Yeah. You say all that, but the original company, Visual Concepts, got bought out and turned into 2K. So by the time you get to those later sports games after like 2005, 2006,
That's true.
I doubt anything of that original company existed anymore.
You don't buy out a company because they're doing good things and then remove everybody that's making the good things.
No, but you've potentially got people who've been there for like 20, 30 years. Yeah, they burn out. They get to a point they're like, no, thanks, I've had enough of recreating every NBA player in the new engine for this year's version. I'm done. I'm going somewhere else.
Yes, fair.
How many times can you model LeBron James's face and still think, I love my job?
So here's the thing, right? I thought I was looking at the facial models when I was looking at the intro sequence to the games earlier. And I thought they looked quite good. But I do wonder if this is one of those points of time where I'm a Dreamcast stan, I think is what the modern parlance, but also a little bit of bias and all that sort of thing. I thought they looked quite good, and I watched a video probably a couple of weeks ago now where someone was just mocking it openly. But I saw Patrick Ewing and I thought that looks like Patrick Ewing. There aren't many basketball players that I know what they look like, but the few that
when
I
it does like the TV presentation stuff and it sort of like shows close ups of the players, they're recognizable as who they are supposed to be.
Yeah, I think so. I think some of them are a little bit more jacked than they are because there's some Schwarzenegger level guns going on in this game. There really are. Larry Johnson on the Knicks is absolutely like stacked. That boy is. Boy has been down the gym a lot. And then when I was checking out the other sort of 99 era basketball games, what really jumped out at me was how in NBA 2K, how different everybody looks.
Yeah, they're recognisably different, aren't they?
Yeah. And
like a shorter, thinner player is recognisably shorter and thinner. It's not just a shrunk down model.
No.
Like the proportions are technically different.
And it plays into the gameplay as well, doesn't it? Like if you try and like drive to the net with Mr. Ward from the Knicks and their centre of the opposing team is there, you're going nowhere. You're literally going nowhere. And it all plays in and it feels in that game more than other games I've played, which aren't many, that it's part of almost like the physics of the game rather than the stats of the game. In some games, similar to this, it feels like it happens because that's what the stats say should happen. In this, there just seems to be the correct level of weight. I just mentioned Patrick Ewing. Playing with him on the Knicks is brilliant. Literally, as soon as I can in defense, I get Ewing and I park him under the net. You just wait for someone to bounce off him and pick the ball up. It's brilliant.
That works on every team. Every team has like that 6'11", 7-footer.
Yeah.
That is just park him under the net. Anyone gets anywhere near, just puts his hands up and that's it. It's not going in. Yeah, if you play as the Lakers, which feels like cheating.
Yes.
You've got Shaquille O'Neal, prime Shaquille O'Neal, 7'1", just fucking a beast.
Yeah.
You know, when they stand like open arms when you hold down the left trigger to sort of guard.
Yeah.
That wingspan is like 9 feet at least. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine trying to run round someone who's got 9-foot spread of arms?
Talk to me about stealing.
Oh, I steal a lot.
I can't do it. It's luck for me.
You can't do it.
So when I steal, I've got two players who seem able to steal on the Knicks, Childs and Ward. And even then it's kind of 50-50 of either stealing or getting a foul.
Yeah, well, I mean, it kind of is anyway.
Is that what it is?
There is a timing element to it.
Right.
Generally speaking, the way I do it is hold the left trigger to do sort of the guard thing. And it only really works if they're bouncing the ball. And you just sort of tap the button as they're bouncing the ball. If they're holding it anywhere, like physically just holding it in their hands, you will get a foul nearly every time. And you'll never knock it loose. So it's sort of watching to see what the opposing player is doing with the ball.
Okay.
Is the main thing of it.
I guess there's a stats thing there for the players as well, isn't there?
99% it's a shorter player who's a little bit quicker and more nimble.
Yeah.
You can get steals with the big guys. Generally speaking, it's against another big guy.
Yeah.
Because their ball handling tends to not... Well, I mean, this is one of the things we haven't really spoken about before. All of the players have stats. They have like a number rating against loads and loads of things, which you don't see. If you don't go into the editing thing and create your own player stuff, you don't see any of it.
It's really tucked away, isn't it?
Yeah, you just get to know who's good at doing certain things. And I love it for that. It's got all this element to it. It's got all this huge, like, nerdy number-based stat system behind everything, but it doesn't shove it in your face. No. It's not there at all. I would say, arguably, the only thing that NBA 2K is missing that the rest of the series does eventually is the, like, build your own career thing.
Oh, okay.
It comes in later on, and it basically follows, like, you as a player through a story.
Oh, okay, cool.
And in the very latest versions, it's like a properly acted story as well. Oh, wow. Like with proper Hollywood actors doing the voice work. And there's some of them are really, really good. Some of them not so much. I installed NBA 2K15 on Steam because I've got it.
See, here's me thinking, my brain's going, oh, that's a fucking decade old. It's not.
That's 11 years old, yeah.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Yeah, I put that one on just to have a quick look. It's like the difference in voice acting is like if you took voice acting now in anything, generally speaking, voice acting it's been elevated far above what it ever used to be.
Yeah, because for the last 10 years, the game industry has been trying to turn itself into the film industry. So, yes.
Well, no, they've been the same thing. Yeah. The people doing voice acting work in games are voice actors from anime, from films, from everything.
Yeah.
You know, if you've got a voice actor, they're just a voice actor. It doesn't matter what the product is. But 2015 era NBA 2K story is not voiced particularly well. It's awful.
Is it better than Star Fox 64?
It's less annoying than Star Fox 64. There's nobody talking in a horrible high-pitched accent.
Oh my god, I'm gonna drive to the hoop.
No, but it's the exact opposite of that. It's a lack of emotion to everything that's said.
Oh, wow.
You know, you'll have a bad game and you'll come out of it and one of the other players will be like, oh, you know, you played a bit shit. You could have done better. But look on the bright side, you couldn't have done any worse. So it's all uphill from here. And the guy's response is just like, yeah, okay, thanks. It's like, fucking hell. This is only 10 years ago. This should have been, even then, this should have been a quality product.
Maybe they're going for that sport interview tone where it's, oh, yeah, we're going to take it one game at a time. And, you know.
But even then, there's no, like, it's completely monotone. There's no emotion in it. It's like they had no budget. They ran out of budget. They got all of the teams signed up and all of the individual players, and then they had like 50 quid left to do the voice work for the story mode.
Oh, I love it. Does that mode on those games, is it where you play, like, you are one player in one position when you're playing?
Yes.
The Libero Grande mode.
Yes, and I much prefer it.
Yeah?
Don't get me wrong, I love give me any year NBA 2K and I'll play it and I'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
But I love that thing of being one player.
Yeah.
Because you see a gap and you think, oh, I need to run into that gap, or it'll indicate who you're supposed to be marking. Okay, so you run and you mark that player, and it's so much more just immersive. I love it because of it.
Yeah, they play differently, those modes, and I've always liked them as well, because you almost feel a bit like you're live managing the team, because you call for passes and you make the runs and tell people to pass, and whatever sport it is. Libero Grande, I just mentioned in passing, definitely mentioned it in either, I don't know, the Amiga episode or possibly Football Champ. But it's the first game to do that, 1998, probably 97 in the arcades, because it was an arcade game originally. You play as a footballer in the Libero Grande position, which doesn't really exist anymore, which basically means the entire team exists to give you space to win the game for them. That's what it's for.
The position Libero still exists and is still mentioned, but Libero Grande is a specific thing, which basically means star player who's free to do whatever the hell you want.
Matthew Letizia era Southampton. Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Brazil's national team used to be 10 Libero Grandes and some poor schmuck in goal. Like, oh, you're left wing. Oh, well, just come drift into the middle, playing defence for a bit if you want. Go for a goal every now and then.
What Libre Grande did brilliant. It was basically arcade controls. So you think you had 4 buttons, and it managed to add depth. It was like call for pass, move for pass, and it was brilliant. And that's the sort of thing. It really did feel like a different game, like calling for a 1-2, and it felt like the rest of the team existed around you, and you were doing a thing, even though you controlled them to an extent, but not so much. There was a certain amount you could ask for. I don't think the sequel is actually called Libero Grande 2. I think it's called something else.
Libero Mucho Grande.
Scotcho.
Chris Waddle. Footballer of the Year is a game that I've mentioned a few times where you play as a single player and you manage their life off game as well.
That's true, yeah.
When you're running out of money, you can go to the bookies and place bets on horses and go to a casino and stuff like that. It's a great game.
I mentioned to you I still had a save, an NBA 2K save on a VMU.
You mentioned it.
Yes, it was corrupt. It wouldn't load. I was fucking gutted. Absolutely gutted. If I remember, the create a player mode was almost limitless stats, or there were so many points available that you were basically creating super players every time.
Yeah, legends.
Yeah, and so to me that's not often fun.
It depends on what you do with it.
I suppose so.
I think there might be limits to it. I think if you make someone like 7 foot, their speed will be limited.
Yeah, I guess
things
so.
like that. I think there are limits within it.
There's enough points available that you can make a great player in any position. So the stats you need to make them great in their position, you have enough to do that, to make them like MVP level off the bat.
Yeah.
And so as it with most character creators of that era, I used to make Street Fighter characters with them. And so
because you had no imagination.
100%, yeah. But Ryu and Ken, and you had Dalsim in there at centre.
Surely Zangief.
Oh yeah. I'd never play a season with them or anything like that. I'd just do it fun and play a few games. I would never and I remember playing full seasons of this game, really digging in and playing the full thing, which, as you mentioned, is not very me.
That's also a hell of a commitment. It's 84 games.
Yeah.
I realised it when I started playing it properly just yesterday. Fucking hell, a full season of this is 80 odd games.
Yeah.
That's a lot of time.
And you're playing 4 quarters of 5 minutes with, and then with timeouts and half times and all that sort of stuff. Half times, you know what I mean? Yeah, it adds up. You probably put in a game is probably about half an hour start to finish.
Yeah.
Which, that's a chunk of time.
It's also not bad.
It never feels long. And I think this is one of the brilliant things about the game is you're never like, oh God, get it over with. And I think the balance of the game is quite good. And I was playing a game the other day and it wasn't close at the end, but I was leading by a bit, and literally as soon as I got the ball I'd get fouled. It was just like it seems counterintuitive, but it's the right thing to do, and it's what happens in basketball. Is that rather than let people shoot for 2, make them go and throw 2 from the line. It's
but also as well that takes no time, and you get the ball back straight away.
Yeah, exactly. It's first of all, it's fuck's sake, this is really annoying. But then you're like, oh well, to be honest with you, I'm shit hot at this free throw business. Why should I care? Let's talk about free throws, Dave. That's a nice segue.
Oh, you're obviously playing it with the original Dreamcast pad.
I played it with
and
both.
Thinking, this is good fun.
I played it with the original Dreamcast pad and with an original Xbox 360 pad.
Yeah, I use a 360 pad for everything I play. And those trigger buttons are a lot more sensitive than the Dreamcast ones were.
Oh, mate, I don't know about that. As I mentioned earlier, it kind of took me a while to get into the game before my muscle memory started to kick in.
Mm-hmm.
And the free throws was the first thing when my muscle memory kicked in.
I'd completely forgotten it.
Had you?
The first time that I got a free throw, I think the computer had a couple before me, and I thought nothing of it at all. And then I got one, and I saw the arrows. As soon as I saw the arrows, I thought, shit, yeah, it's the you have to do this is going to be fun. Fucking hell. It's like a good 15, 20 seconds, proper tongue out concentration mode. I started to get quite good at them and could get them probably about 90% of the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, with the first few I did, absolute shit show. It was great fun.
Weirdly, it's my position of the things, my fingers on the controller is like it. I just did it as soon as I saw it, and I must have learnt this from playing it back in the day. But when I do it, I'm pressing it with like the pad of my index fingers that's closest to your hand, with the tips of my fingers touched on because where the VMUs sit in the Dreamcast controller sticks out at the bottom of the controller.
Yeah.
So the tips of my index finger are touching that, and then I'm pressing it with the two pads close to my hand, and it gives you so much precision. I've not missed a free throw since I've been playing it. And then playing it with a 360 controller was like only half that, because there's nothing to rest the tips of your fingers on, and it was much harder.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a great system. Is it in the modern games? Do they still use it?
I'm not entirely sure. I installed 2K21, and after about 15 minutes of trying to get every game mode to work, realised none of it works anymore because I've turned everything off.
For fuck's sake.
So, yeah, that's a very, very sore point. I went back and I tried to play. For some reason, I bought 2K10. I installed that on Steam. Doesn't recognise the Xbox 360 controller for some weird reason. So I didn't play any of that. And then I put on 2K15 and I played that. And that I think it came up with options for what to do.
Oh, okay.
And I just went for the hold a button and a shot meter thing comes up.
Boo.
So whether or not there was another option that I just missed because I didn't know what it was.
So if you've not played either 2K or any of I don't know which later games, how long it stayed in the series for. The 2K version, you have a target arrow in like an elliptical shape. And you have two. There's one that starts off to the left of the basket and one to the right. And so by squeezing the left trigger, you bring the left side one towards the center. And by squeezing the right trigger, you bring the right side one towards the center. And when they're in the center and they're both pointing at the basket, you press the shoot button.
Nice and simple.
Yeah, so you're not even releasing, which would, the first stage of making it easier would be to just release the triggers to take the shot. But no, you have to press a button as well. It's fucking brilliant. I love it, because free throws shouldn't be easy, should they?
No, but the thing is as well, they're adjustable based on the skill of the player taking them as well.
Oh, are they?
So as difficult as that analog thing is, and it is a very analog moment,
100%.
if you've got a player who's good at shooting, there's a bit of lenience to it.
Ah, okay.
So it sort of comes in smoother, and you're more likely to get it. If you have someone like Shaquille O'Neal, who's got like a 20% shooting average on free throws in his entire career, it's like on and off. It's like, fuck. All of that granular control is just, oh shit, this isn't going in.
And it is, I think, like with the Dreamcast, I think of other controllers that I've used recently, it does feel like the original Xbox controller and the Dreamcast controller, there's much more travel in those triggers than you feel in. And it may be that modern controller triggers actually have more degrees of separation as you pull the trigger, but the distance of travel, particularly on the 360 and the Dreamcast, is bigger. And so even if it isn't as controllable, it feels like it's more controllable, because we're grown-ups and we've got big hands. We're not fucking teenagers, we're not kids, and you don't have that level of precision. But yeah, I love it. I think it's a great mechanic.
I think it's brilliant because it's a part of the game that you don't necessarily see for a long time as well. So you could play the first half of the game and not draw any penalties.
Yeah.
And you think, oh yeah, I'm starting to get it. I'm starting to remember how to play this. And then all of a sudden you get a penalty. You're like, oh shit, how does this work? But that's the whole point of tutorials and training modes and practices and things like that. That's what all that stuff's there for, which normally I skip.
Yes.
I'm sure there is a practice mode or a tutorial in there somewhere. There might not be, I don't know.
There is a practice mode, and unless I miss something, it's basically there's no opposition, and all you can do really is sort of practice set plays without an opposition there.
Oh, okay.
Or practice, basically work out how far away from the basket each player needs to be to dunk.
This is where the whole like my career thing comes in further down the line. You learn every element of the game in isolation from a game, which I think is a good way to do it. It's kind of it feels like a more natural way to do it.
I think I would agree. Yeah, I think there's something to be said. I think because we're here doing a retro fucking podcast. I'm a bit old school. I like the fact that when I played this, the first game I played for 20 years, probably more like 25 years, I was shocking and I got hammered and I didn't remember how to play properly. And you shouldn't be able to just win straight off, should you? You should.
No.
There's a learning curve, and it took me a few games to get into it, and then the muscle memory started to kick in, and then I remembered how to do alley-oops, and haven't lost since. That's not true. Not true in the slightest. But yes, it's I tell you, talking actually, alley-oops and the power of them probably overpowered for what is ostensibly a more sim-like game.
Well, they are part of the real game. It's not like it's a stupid thing that was made up to put in a video game.
No, absolutely. But do you see when you're watching a basketball game, every other shot that goes in is
No,
an
not
alley-oop?
every other shot. I don't think the intention was for you to do every shot as an alley-oop.
Well, don't give me the tools. Don't hate the player, hate the game.
No, I think in this case, we should definitely hate the player.
And that player is Latrice Sprewell. Although, to be fair, with a good defence, he does basically just run into them and stop. It doesn't work every single time. It is, that level of realism is there. You can't just always chuck it in. But yeah, because I was like you, when I was remembering and sort of training my brain how to do alley-oops again, my turnover, it's like, that's 27 turnovers for the game. You just, you get it wrong. You just chuck it into the crowd. And that's it. It's like,
yeah.
There's a video on YouTube called NBA Free Throws Evolution.
Ah,
I'm going to have a quick look at it. Talk amongst
While you're
yourselves.
doing that, just a very quick Google. The alley-oop was potentially invented in the 50s.
By Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
No, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was the 70s. Twat.
Wilt Chamberlain.
Potentially is Wilt Chamberlain, actually. Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain at the University of Kansas frequently grab errant shots by teammates and dunk them.
Nice.
So they were doing what you used to do in NBA Jam.
Yeah.
It basically got described as offensive goaltending. So it has evolved and there are rules based around it. It's not just something that's done.
That's pretty cool. So, up to 2K2, we've still got 2 big green arrows.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd imagine the Dreamcast one has stayed the same, because why would you change it?
Yeah, 2K1 and 2K2 were Dreamcast exclusives. 2K3, we're still looking at 2 big green arrows.
Okay, because the PlayStation wouldn't have had analog triggers.
Yeah.
Presumably it used the directional sticks? I don't know.
If you're listening, tell us, NBA 2K3, how did those arrows work? And that was the last time it was in any games, 2K3.
Okay. It obviously went away because they'd lost the analog trigger buttons, which the whole thing was designed around.
Yeah. See, I guess it's probably a pretty safe bet to say that the PlayStation 2 killed that free throw system.
Yeah, because it couldn't do it.
Yeah. Sorry, the PlayStation 2 was I was about to say it was a shadow of the Dreamcast. It wasn't even that. It was not fit to clean the Dreamcast shoes, which it didn't have.
I don't even think that the PS2 had anything that looked as good as a Dreamcast game by the time the PS2 was finished. Games get better through the life cycle of a console. I don't think the first Dreamcast games that came out were matched at any point in the PS2's life.
I think that is a great shout. And another call to arms in the comments of wherever you're listening to us, please tell us why Dave's wrong. Well, it's not even why Dave's wrong, why we're wrong, because I happen to agree with Dave. I think other than sort of the stylistic games, stuff like Okami, where it's cel shaded and it's the art style that elevates it, and arguably if these games existed on the Dreamcast, they would have looked even better. But yeah, tell us why we're wrong, because I completely agree with Dave. I think the PlayStation 2 was always a slightly muddy looking graphic style, unless it was really trying very hard not to be. Is the music on the menu screens for NBA 2K a remix of Fool's Gold?
When you say Fool's Gold, by who?
The Stone Roses.
I don't know Fool's Gold by the Stone Roses. Pause.
I genuinely nearly spat my drink out then, Dave.
I probably will. As soon as I hear it, I'll think, oh, yeah.
Yeah, you absolutely fucking will.
Oh, yeah. Maybe. I don't know. I tend to skip over it. I tend to skip over both of them. If the Stone Roses come on, I tend to skip them. And if the music for a menu of a game comes on that I just want to play the fucking game, I tend to skip it. So maybe. I don't know.
It occurred to me when I was playing it the other day, when I could barely hear it because it was coming out the side of my TV. Was that Fool's Gold? And then when I was playing it earlier, it occurred to me again, but I was also had the noise of a couple of blokes knocking down a wall in my house going on at the same time, so I couldn't quite hear it then either.
Intentionally, it is worth adding.
Yes, no, absolutely. I wasn't.
They weren't bailiffs. We've come to repossess your 32X.
So, I mean, it is incredibly similar. I mean, particularly to the intro of Fool's Gold by the Stone Roses. I'll tell you what I wanted to mention, actually, because it's new and because it's to the point where may even end up on the thumbnail in a small little thing, this section, while I talk about this, because it's new and I think people might be interested. This is the first real game that I've played on my Dreamcast where I have made use of my VMU Pro.
Oh yeah, your new toy.
So, my new toy. So I've plenty of new toys. I have a house full of new toys.
This week's new toy.
Yeah, absolutely. The VMU Pro, in case you don't know, so it's in its form factor exactly the same as the original VMUs for a Dreamcast, but all the technology crammed inside it is basically an illustration of how far we've come in 26 years. It's absolutely bonkers. It's just, it can take a 2 terabyte SD card, which in Dreamcast save game units is essentially infinite. The amount of storage that's created, basically you can't calculate it. There aren't enough games and saves that exist before you run out of life to fill up the storage. It's got the screen on it is 16-bit color. It's a little IPS display. The battery life is 6 hours of playtime outside of the console, so you can take it out and you can use it as like a Game Boy emulator.
So it's 1,000 times the battery life of the original VMU then.
This is the thing. I was testing out a feature on this thing because you can do the VMU to VMU transfer.
Oh, okay.
By the time I'd figured out how to do it, the batteries in my VMU had died. And they were new when I put them in.
Perfect. What a great idea. Ruined by technology of the time.
Yeah, no, if anything illustrates how ahead of its time the Dreamcast was, it's that, isn't it?
Mm.
I love the fact I noticed the VMU Pro when I plugged it in to play NBA 2K earlier. It does recharge. The controller does recharge the VMUs, which was the concept behind the actual VMUs, was that the batteries could be rechargeable when they were plugged in. Never actually worked. It's got Bluetooth, it's got Wi-Fi, it's got USB charging and data. When the VMU's plugged into the Dreamcast, there are 2 extra little buttons on top, so you can navigate it with these 2 buttons. It's just a brilliant thing. It's quite expensive. I got an early deal on it, but now the retail price is £85.
Oh, that can fuck off. That's an expensive toy I would not be buying.
I think I paid $60.
I love the fact that it exists.
Yeah.
I will not buy one.
No, that's absolutely fair. And but the thing is, there's a massive community. This is a company called 8-Bit Mods made this, and they do a similar thing for the PlayStation 2. But obviously that doesn't have the fun of, the VMU. It's got a D-pad and 2 buttons on it. You can play Game Gear, Game Boy Color, and something else. I can't remember what on it.
Neo Geo Pocket?
I don't think it's actually got that yet, but it should have. There's no reason why it shouldn't.
So it's not far off, is it?
No, absolutely. It is very much one of those things you look at and you just go, this is mental. This is, when the VMU came out, this is how we thought of it. You had games, or there's going to be mini games you can play on it, and it's going to have you can see your saves, and it will show you stuff that's going on in the game while it's on. All those promises the original VMU's made, this keeps. It just keeps for 6 times the price of the original VMU. It's very hard to recommend at that price, but you will never need another memory card. And I would imagine, given the fact that my NBA 2K save was corrupt, that it's probably more reliable than the old memory cards as well. Again,
that's
just because technology is come so far. I've got currently knocking around, I haven't transferred all the information yet. I think I've got 7 VMUs kicking around. Back in the day, I had 2 or 3, and I've just picked them up boot sales, charity shops. You see one, you pick it up. It's not the sort of thing you walk past if you see it for anything like a decent price. But yeah, it's a very cool thing, and it is, as I say, it genuinely takes you back, because it's like, this is what you imagined the VMU was going to do. And it obviously never did. It failed miserably at it. But this was the dream. This is what we were promised. And it only took them 26 years to get there.
It didn't take them 26 years. It took someone else 26 years.
How are we doing NBA 2K? Anything else? Anything else to say?
Not a lot. I've got a few things that I started to sort of delve into who were the players at the time. You've got people in there like Shaquille O'Neal, I mentioned, who'd been around for a few years at that point, so it's well established. You've got people who became big names like Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
I don't think he was quite a rookie, but he wasn't quite the GOAT that he sort of became.
Yeah, because one of those other games we mentioned was like whatever it was featuring Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
But I think he was known from college basketball as he was gonna be the next thing, wasn't it? Very early doors, people were like, this kid is incredible.
Yeah. Well, he was the big thing after Jordan.
Yeah.
So Michael Jordan had come and gone, and then he came along and he was the next Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Because Shaq was there and was a different thing. He was a different kind of player. He wasn't...
Oh, of course, yeah.
He wasn't the athletic ability, the sort of skill and the magic that Jordan brought to it.
Interesting to me that NBA Jam is why the Knicks... I don't support a basketball team in any real term, but the Knicks is the team that I will play in video games and I will, look out for a story about. And Patrick Ewing was in NBA Jam, which is the game that started that, and he's still in NBA 2K.
Yeah.
And then what it amazed me on the intros when I was watching the long-winded intros, but brilliantly does that thing where here's the away team, some dudes, and here's your LA Clippers. Just brilliant. Loved it.
Yeah.
And with all the lights and the flashing and the razzmatazz and all that. Loved that. But there was a guy who was introduced, and it's like in his 12th year.
Yeah.
So it's like, this is a long career they have in this sport. That's crazy. 12 years.
When I was playing 2K15 earlier on, I got brought into the build your own player, my career mode. The first game I got to play in was against the San Antonio Spurs. And one of the players that they had at the time was a guy called Tim Duncan, who's phenomenal. He's a legend. Absolutely amazing player. And in that, they were saying, it's incredible. He's still playing at 36. I'm pretty sure he was still playing 5 years later when I was playing 2K21.
Well, I think my favourite basketball player of all time was pretty ancient when he eventually hung his boots up, wasn't he? The legendary Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. The most valuable player of all time. the MMVP.
Also a qualified pilot.
No, my name is Roger Murdoch.
That joke's in the NBA Jam episode as well.
Oh, mate, I don't care.
Every time. 2 years now, when we do another NBA game, that will still come back.
He can fly a plane and he can kick the shit out of Bruce Lee. I mean, come on. He was old. I mean, when he actually give it up, because people who don't agree that he's the greatest basketball player of all time say he was basically in the sport so long he had more time to break records than anybody else.
Yeah,
I don't know enough about basketball. All I know is that if the answer is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, then yes, I agree.
With no knowledge of the rest of the conversation.
Not the tiniest thing. I know he was in Airplane. I know he invented the skyhook shot, which is a thing of beauty, and that's about it. And I love and Game of Death, of course.
Yeah.
He was 42 when he retired in 1989.
Yeah, that's unheard of now. Mind you, saying that, LeBron James is probably not far off that.
He played 20 professional seasons.
LeBron James has actually played against his own son now.
Jesus Christ.
1984. He's 42.
Ah, same.
Sorry, 41.
Oh, I bet he'll beat him. But yes, love Kareem. There are cheat codes for NBA 2K.
Are there?
Yeah, it's got in the menu. There's a whole thing. Like
Didn't know that.
It's called. I think it's called codes rather than cheat codes.
I saw codes. I just ignored it.
Yeah, it's cheat codes.
Huh.
Annoyingly, because I just run out of time. I didn't actually put any in to see what they look like, but they're like big head mode and all that sort of stuff. Like,
Oh, really?
Proper old school cheat codes.
There's big feet mode.
Nice.
Giant players, green basketball, obese players, secret teams, tiny players. That sounds fun. Yeah, I think I'll dick around with this a bit and record some of the footage.
Yeah.
I'd never knew about this.
Yeah.
And it's on Game Facts, which I would have been looking at in the year 2000. Random. Still can't play as George Clinton though, can you?
You can't, no, sadly. I'm intrigued by the secret teams who are, like it says, the Insomniacs, the code for which is dev dudes.
It's probably the dev team.
Yeah, exactly. But once you've enabled it, there is a court that's outside that they play on. Their home court is outside.
Huh.
So I'm intrigued to see that. And yeah, I apologise to our listeners for not having researched that better before we recorded. Quick shout out to Harry from Difford's Guide. I was adding my cocktail for today to Difford's Guide, and I noticed that you couldn't put line spaces in part of the text, so it made it really difficult to read. Literally dropped an email and he fixed it immediately. So other users of Difford's Guide, you're welcome, and Harry, thank you very much. And on that note, we might as well start talking about cocktails, Dave. What you got?
Well, because as part of my research for this, I listened to our NBA Jam episode.
Yes.
Remembered, let's call it that I had a choice of 4 drinks for NBA Jam, because I did a lot of Googling for cocktails to do with NBA. So the one that I chose will be filtered out of the next 3. And then at some point over the next couple of years, when we do another basketball one, I'll have 2 to choose from. So I've got it down to 3 this time. But the one that I'm going to go for, because I wanted to use it for NBA Jam, because it wasn't appropriate, because the alley-oop does not appear in NBA Jam.
It doesn't.
But it does appear in NBA 2K. This is exactly what I said in the NBA Jam episode. So I've gone for the alley-oop.
Sorry, this is what they call a deep cut for regular listeners, isn't it?
Well, when you say regular, episode 10, mate. It's 55 episodes ago.
That's why it's a deep cut, mate. It's a deep cut.
Yes, the alley-oop, which I found on the Hennessy website, purveyors of fine cognac, which I don't think I've ever actually had. But
what, Hennessy or cognac?
Hennessy. I've had cognac several times. Not sure I've ever had Hennessy. So this is fairly simple. It's 35ml of Hennessy VS, 50ml of orange juice, 60ml of tonic water, and an orange wedge to garnish. So it's cognac, fruit, tonic water, and an orange wedge. It's quite simple. No, nothing particularly special going on. I guess the flavour is mostly the Hennessy, because cognac is delicious.
It's like a gin and tonic, but with cognac instead of gin.
Yeah, it's sort of like a brandy and tonic.
Yeah.
With orange. I'd be curious to give that a go. I think that'd be quite nice.
Yeah, no, I'm intrigued by that actually. 'Cause,
Yeah.
I think brandy and orange, 100%. That's a good combo, but the tonic is unusual.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to notice that as much as you would in like a gin and tonic, because gin's not a particularly strong flavour anyway. So every gin and tonic I've ever drunk has just tasted like tonic water, which I can't stand. But I think this will overpower it. I think that'll have quite a bit of flavour to it.
I remember the first time I ever drank gin, I thought it tasted like nail varnish.
First time I ever drank gin, I was like 9.
Yeah, I was pretty young.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember the smell of nail varnish and the taste of like 1990s Gordon's gin weren't far apart.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been good gin, would it?
No.
The whole concept of good gin that we have now did not exist 30 years ago.
No, definitely not. Yeah, it was a different product back then.
Yeah.
But no, that's an intriguing drink. I don't think as much as I bang on about cocktails on this podcast, I'm by no means an expert. I don't associate cognac with something that you top up with anything ever.
No.
So yeah, it's an intriguing one. I might have to give it a go.
Yeah, I'm curious to give that a shot because I don't think it'd be particularly difficult to get either.
No, those aren't weird ingredients, are they?
I mean, yeah, take away the Hennessy special version of it because it's on their website, but
yeah,
just cognac, some orange juice and tonic water. Not difficult to do at all.
No.
I'll see if they've got it in the local pub when I'm in there tomorrow.
Yeah, I reckon they could put that together for you.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Nice. And the alley-oop, of course, my favourite thing just in basketball.
Yes, well,
just generally.
Specifically in NBA 2K.
Yes, but I love it. It doesn't, I love the NBA street games.
Yeah.
Not even the alley-oops, but the crazy triple level alley-oops that you can do in that game. They take the concept of the alley-oop and just go absolutely insane with it.
Yeah, that's it.
Whereas NBA 2K they make, to be fair, because it's so grounded in reality, they make just a normal alley-oop feel as special as the crazy backflipping triple alley-oops from NBA Street, because you're so just getting a good run for a dunk is a difficult thing to do in this game.
Yeah.
Let alone flipping it up for the Tree Spreewell to slam it into the hoop. As much as I would have loved it to, and I did try, my cocktail doesn't relate to Latree Spreewell.
What did you go for in the end?
So it more closely relates to Allen Iverson.
Ah, the cover star.
The cover star, who you think the game would have been in development in 98, came out in 99, and he won the season MVP the year afterwards.
Yeah, he was the cover star for the next 3 years as well.
Yes, yeah, he was kind of a big deal. So somebody chose very well when they picked Allen Iverson. And yes, more for me in terms of a game, because I've always played the Knicks in this game and I've always played it recently. I don't think I ever played a game of this where I won where Latree Spreewell wasn't MVP. Ever. There is a quite a widely known cocktail called the MVP.
Oh yeah,
that is Malibu and pineapple juice, and it's along that kind of tiki vibe sort of a thing.
Malibu vodka pineapple, presumably.
I think it's along those. Oh yes.
Must be, because a TVR is tequila vodka Red Bull.
Yes, absolutely. No, I like it. Yeah, I see what you've done. Yes. So yeah, also has Midori in it. The
nice.
well-known MVP. 2 ounces of vodka, 1 ounce of Midori, 1 ounce of coconut rum, and 2 ounces of pineapple juice.
Oh, that sounds nice.
So it sounds nice to you. It sounds horrendous to me. This is exactly the sort of drink I don't like. I don't like Malibu. Midori, I'm still yet to try, despite it being like your amber nectar. And so yeah, Malibu. I had a bad time on Malibu once, and I don't think I'm quite over it.
I get that.
Everyone's got one, hasn't they? Everyone's. Yeah. I actually have 2. I have Malibu and Southern Comfort, both of which I don't want to go.
I have the same too.
I mean, for different reasons, we should probably stay.
I should fucking hope so.
Yeah.
Given what my reasons are. Well, one of them anyway.
So, luckily, I found a different MVP, which is not, I guess that I guess it's either Malibu vodka and pineapple or Midori vodka and pineapple. I don't know. Probably maybe both. Who cares? Who knows? Never going to drink it. Sounds horrible to me, but there's a distillery in America called the Dread River Distilling Company have a recipe for their MVP cocktail, and their MVP stands for maple, vanilla, and pecan.
Oh.
And if you hear those three words together, and then I add the word bourbon, and you don't say that it's something I want to drink, we can't be friends. Because I read that and I went, I'm 100% making this drink. This is happening.
That sounds like something you'd have poured over pancakes in the morning for breakfast.
Yeah.
It's an alcoholic pancake dressing.
Yeah. It really is. The syrup you could 100% do that with. The syrup I clearly had to make, because the ingredients are 2 ounces of bourbon, 3/4 of an ounce of maple pecan syrup, and then some bitters chucked in on top. On their YouTube, they show you not only how to make the drink, but how to make the syrup as well, which is fantastic. But it's basically you take some maple syrup, a vanilla pod, and some pecans, and you simmer them for 5 minutes, and you get this just insanely delicious syrup. And then you pour it into your bourbon, you stir it so it all combines, and then you drink it, and then you drink another one, and then another one. Yes, so good. So good. It's very much that kind of...
Has it got like a smoky flavour to it? Because maple syrup's got that sort of almost burnt flavour, isn't it, sometimes?
A good bourbon's got smokiness to it. A good maple syrup's got a bit of smokiness to it as well. And even the flavour you consider vanilla, when you use a proper vanilla pod, a lot of that sweetness isn't there. It's just nuts. It's so good. So nice. And what you end up with afterwards is a whole load of pecan nuts coated in maple syrup glaze. I didn't have any pecans. Luckily, I was rescued by my mother-in-law. For once, not sorry, Sandra. Thank you, Sandra, for picking me up some pecans so I could make this amazing cocktail. You're supposed to use some of them as a garnish for the drink, but if you've got any left by that point, you're a better person than me, I tell you. This is one of those drinks where occasionally I find a drink and I just fall in love with it. I think the one that springs to mind on this is when we did Flashback, the Blade Runner cocktail that I did.
The Decade.
I will never forget it. It was such a great cocktail. And this is one of those. It's so delicious. It's really simple. I mean, really, really simple, but it's just so nice. I didn't have enough. I was limited. So I think I only had one vanilla pod, and the recipe calls for 3, so obviously I had to do a third of everything, which hasn't made me enough syrup to do. I've probably got 1 drink's worth of syrup left, and it's going to be a sad time. But yeah, my God, it's so tasty. It's probably a bit more of a winter drink. In the UK, we're obviously heading into, we're well into spring, heading towards summer, and it's a bit more of a wintry drink, really. But honestly, who cares? Drink it whenever. MVP is not a term that's used in European sport, is it? Ever?
No, we have player of the match.
Yes. Is it used outside of basketball?
Yes, American football, ice hockey, all the American sports use it. Just most valuable player. It's a generic term that applies to every sport. Yeah,
and this is the thing, because I don't watch or play games involving those sports, I always relate MVP to basketball specifically, even though it goes beyond that. Which is why, it's one of the things I was looking for when I was looking for this game, and I was very pleased that I found a cocktail that was called that didn't have Malibu in it, for God's sake.
Do we need to officially talk about the world famous legendary gathering?
We do need to talk officially about the world famous legendary gathering. Off you go.
If you've been listening to us for anything more than 3 months, you'll have been here for the last one. Basically, the Retro Computer Museum in Leicester, every 3 months, hosts a day-long event where you turn up, play all their games, drink lots of drink, pay way more for a raffle ticket than you probably should to get a prize that you won't get, but you never know.
It's a great event. We have a great time every time. They're a great bunch of people. the place gets absolutely rammed full of very like-minded people, and that's a lovely thing. Quite often when places get rammed full of like-minded people, those people are dickheads. But in this example, it's just lovely people who just like to talk about old video games, and it's great. I love it. It's a trek for me to get up to Leicester, but if I can go, I'll go every single time because I think it's absolutely worth it.
Yeah.
If you're, reasonably in the area, I go from Eastbourne to Leicester, for God's sake. So if you are, within that sort of orbit of Leicester, go along, meet some like-minded people, meet us. What's it called, Dave?
The Retro Computer Museum.
And their
awesome, world-famous, legendary gathering
is on the
20th of June, 2026.
We'll see you there. We'll be wearing our Cocktail Mode t-shirts. So next time out, Dave has chosen our game. So we've had our tie-in episode for the NBA Finals. Dave has chosen the next episode. And Dave has chosen
Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo, which is a fantastic game.
It is a brilliant puzzle game. Well, no, puzzle's wrong, isn't it? It's kind of in the Tetris vein, but a lot more two-player focused, I think.
It's a Tetris-themed chibi Street Fighter beat-em-up thing.
Nuts.
It's an odd game. If you've never played it, it's an oddity. Definitely is.
It's very cool. You'll obviously hear more about it. If it's new to you, then tune in, because honestly, if you like Street Fighter and you like games like Columns, like Tetris, anything like that. So that's what we're talking about next time here on Cocktail Mode, where gaming and alcohol are in our blood.